Dear students, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today we're gonna talk about also economics. What is economics? Part 2. Let's start. So guys, we're talking about economics here. Economics has two main principles. First of all, we have people have what? People have wants. People have wants. Choices, scarcity. Scarcity affects everyone. What are we talking about? Let's see. Principle 1. When I talk about people, people have, every one of us have many wants, right? Choice is very important to use the scarce of what of resources. So choice here, I must choose between my wants. I can't get all of my wants, so I have to choose. So choice is important to use the, yes, to use of scarce resources. We have choice even when it comes to our needs. So needs, wants, what's the difference of them? Okay, needs here, like what the things that you can't live without. Wants, the things that you can live without. Okay, so like needs, like food. We have here wants, like fancy car. So when I talk about needs and wants, if I say here the choice even comes to our needs, right? For example, when it comes to food, we are hungry. Do you eat here bread and water, or do you get to your favorite restaurant? So this is what, this is also a choice. If you're hungry and you want to have some food, you may go and take just here bread and water, and you can do something else. You can go to your favorite restaurant. So we have here choices about wants. These are unlimited and ever changing, so this is changing one. What about here scarcity that affects everyone? Wants, guys, are unlimited, we know that. And resources, what do you think, limited or not? As I told you before, they are limited, scarce. Choices have to be made out about how best to use these resources. Scarcity then affects which goods are made and which services are provided. So I have here two things that they are new: goods and services. What about goods here? Products, goods, physical object that I can touch by my hand, that can be purchased, so, or can be bought. So I have to know the definition of the goods and services here, guys. Yep, and this is very important if you understand it. Goods, physical objects that can be purchased. Services, work that one person performs for another for payment, okay, not as a volunteer here. We have here consumer, the one who consumes the product, and the producer, the one he offered the product. So goods and services, consumers and producers, let's talk about that. When I talk about goods, are objects such as food, clothing and furniture that can be bought, okay, and you can give examples. Services are work that one person does for another, okay, as like the teacher here teaches to students, okay, this is the service. Okay, a consumer, person who buys or uses the goods or services. A producer is a maker of the goods or the provider of the services. Okay, I have here three questions about here scarcity: what, for whom, and how. Let's have this one. What will be produced? Okay, so society must decide the mix of goods and services it will produce. Okay, here society, as a society here, it can here decide the mix of goods and services it will provide. The government here which decide this. Okay, some countries the government here decides so, in some other countries the consumers and the producers decide this. So I have here what, guys, what is produced depends on natural resources possessed. So what I produce, I have to look for my resources that I natural resources that I already as a country possess. But resources do not completely control what a country produces. Okay, why? Because we can have some imports, right? Some countries decide by allowing consumers and producers to decide. In other countries, the government decides what goods and services will be produced. This question also involves what? How much to produce, the quantities. The country must review its wants here. Okay, so I have here this question also involves what? How much to produce, the quantities. The country must review its wants at any time to decide this. Okay, give examples. We have here some examples. Are we in war or peace? What do you think? In war? Okay, we are not we're gonna do what in war? What do you think? We're gonna here depend on the most important products. We're not going to have fancy products. Are we poor or rich? Are we importing or exporting? Do we need necessities or luxuries? What natural resources we already have? How much is our population? Of course, we have overpopulation here in Egypt. Do we have foreign investment? Who, society or government, decide what to produce? Okay, how it will be produced. So the second question we got, how will it be produced? This involves using scarce resources in the most efficient ways to satisfy wants. So we're going to use the scarce resources or the limited resources in the most efficient way to satisfy our wants. This is also influenced or affected by the natural resources that the society possesses. Right? So I have some natural resources and I have to use these resources in an efficient way. Example, like growing crops, different approaches. We have different approaches in growing crops. Large unskilled labor force, labor intensive methods, few machines. What should you use? Highly skilled labor, capital intensive, lots of machines. So I have to use, I have to use or choose what I'm gonna do with my scarce resources, limited resources. How to produce labor or machinery? You're gonna depend on the workers or the machines. Labor versus technology. You're gonna here depend on mostly on the labor, the workers, or the technology. Paper versus e-data. Educated, skilled versus uneducated, unskilled labor. Agricultural, industrial, technological country. What should you choose? So we have here another question. For whom will it be produced? Okay, this involves how goods will be distributed, guys, among people in society. So we have some questions. Need to determine how much people should get, how much they pay or equal share, distribution networks. We have here for whom, who gets what? Equality, socialism, capitalism, distribution of income, distribution systems, roads, airports, ports, new ways, production versus consumption. So guys, here in this example, the Bentley, what to produce? Bentley Motors designs a luxury car with buyers in mind. So when they design this car, they know who will buy them, right? Bentley Motors decides how much to produce, give the price and their cost. So they put the price, related to this consideration, who will buy them, and their cost is also why their cost is all, because when I have the costs and I will put my price to know my profit. Buyers decide how many to buy, so buyers decide here how many to buy based on price, their income, and the tastes also. So buyers decide, okay guys, I'm a buyer here, I decide I will buy based on what? On the price. Can I afford this? Okay, is my income can afford this? Okay, if I can and I'm able to buy it, so this is my taste of cars, I think so. So how to produce? Bentley Motors designs factory, uses machinery and trains workers to minimize cost, but retain a certain quality. So here Bentley, in this example, they design designs a factory, they use machinery, they train here the workers, they can by doing so minimize the cost, and of course here having a great profit. Okay guys, so government restricts this decision. The government do what? It has here pollution laws, safety laws, labor laws. Okay, so who gets the Bentley? I hope I will do. Those who are willing and able to pay $200,000. Okay, for one, this is why I don't have it, of course, guys. Maybe a graduation present for you, inshallah. Okay, so why does the basic problem of scarcity lead societies to ask the three fundamental economic questions? Okay, because every society faces what? The problem of having too few resources to meet unlimited wants. So this is the main idea here. Why does we have here basic problem for the scarcity that leads society to ask the three fundamental economic questions? Why, guys? Because every society faces this problem. We have few resources to meet what? The unlimited wants. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you understood everything. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to send me on the SCL or at school. Bye bye.